Hello and welcome to From Data to Insights, leveraging the new Delta Sharing Connector with Databricks and Tableau. Today's webinar is sponsored by Salesforce and Databricks and produced by SmartBrief. My name is Scott Becker. I'm from SmartBrief, and I'm excited to be your moderator for this demo-packed presentation. Now, before we get to today's great session, we have a few housekeeping items for you that are going to help you get the most out of it. First off, we want this to be an informative event for you, so we encourage any questions in the questions box in your webinar control panel. So not only will we have team members responding to questions during the live event, but we'll also have a dedicated Q&A session at the end of the presentation where we're going to discuss in greater detail some of the top questions that you ask. That Q&A panel is also the place to let us know about any technical issues that you might be experiencing. A browser refresh is going to fix most audio, video, or slide advancement issues, but if that doesn't work, just let us know there in the Q&A and we'll provide further technical assistance. Now, second, in the handout section of your webinar control panel, you're going to find that we're offering several resources. I'd especially like to call your attention to a link to download the Delta Sharing Connector that you'll be hearing about today, a link to the recent Tableau and Databricks announcement, and helpful links to Databricks and Tableau. So I encourage you to access those resources now and share them with your friends and colleagues. Third, at the end of this webinar event, we will be awarding a $250 Amazon gift card to one lucky registrant. Of course, you must be in attendance during the live event to qualify for that prize. Official terms and conditions of today's prize drawing can be found in the handout section. Just scroll to the bottom and you'll find the link with the details there. Now, finally, one of the best benefits of this event is the opportunity to ask a question of our expert presenters. To help encourage those questions, we have a special additional prize for you. That's another Amazon gift card, this one for $50 for the best question. So after the event is over, look at all the questions that came in and pick out the very best one and contact that prize winner. All right, with that housekeeping out of the way, let's get to today's fantastic session. It is my pleasure to introduce you to our presenters today. We have Kevin Glover, who's Director of Product Management at Tableau. And we have Andreas Terord, who's Solutions Architect at Databricks. So Kevin, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Scott, so much. And thank you, everyone, for being here. We really appreciate you taking your time away from your busy days. We know how valuable that is. My name's Kevin. I'm a product manager at Tableau. I've been there for a very long time. I'm a product manager in our Tableau ecosystem space, and I'm also our developer advocate. And here with me today is Andreas. Andreas is also from the DataFam family. We secretly planted him in Databricks. So Andreas, over to you.
So, hi, everyone. Super happy to be in this session. And yes, as Kevin said, part of the overall Tableau family, been part of that for multiple years, and now here at Databricks Solution Architect, and really looking forward to the session.
Before we get going, we have to get the lawyers off my back, but we want to make sure that you don't make any public or make any purchasing decisions based on what you see here. We are talking about future roadmap decisions, so only make purchases based on what's available today. So with that out of the way, so we here at Salesforce, Tableau, and Databricks, here's our vision. We want to empower you, our customers, to make more insightful decisions with your customer data. We think about this in three different spaces: about zero copying or not copying data from one place to another, or Salesforce to Databricks. We're also thinking about bringing more of our AI-rich data and models and LLMs from Databricks into Salesforce and vice versa. And lastly, what we're mostly going to be discussing here is how we're analyzing your lakehouse. So let's get into it. So data and analytics has happened in three waves. First, we had full service. We had a DBA, we had everyone number crunching in the back, hacking away at Microsoft SQL Server or different databases, and we ask for a report, and a month later we may get the report, but it's not really what we wanted, and that time period's long gone. And then in wave two, self-service analytics was born. Tableau was created, and we could simply connect to a database and drag and drop. And anyone had access to use and see and understand their data. And now we feel like we're in wave three. The wave where we are getting personalized data right to where we're working, right within the tools that we use every day. But why is it still so hard to use data and gain insights from that data? Well, we are both at data companies, so we have to throw some stats at you. We feel like the data landscape is huge and fragmented. There are hundreds of vendors in the data space, between the data stack, semantic stacks, the querying engine accelerators. There's multiple BI vendors. There are so many data vendors and products in our space. And what we have surveyed, our company said that 71 of those apps remain mostly disconnected. Number 2, people still don't trust the data that they see. The leaders that we surveyed said 92% of them need to have more trustworthy data than any before. Challenge number 3, insights are not where they need them to be. Again, 94% of leaders that we surveyed say that organizations are not getting the most out of their value. 94%, which means we have a good challenge to help you solve these problems. And number 4, people can't reuse what they built. And most people spend a lot of time rebuilding what they have. They're lost to repetitive tasks. They're not able to reuse what they've built. So, why is it so hard to be data-driven and be AI ready? Well, 1, we don't trust our data. We don't know whether insights we see are based on a complete view of the information. We also have many applications are at disposal. So how we use that data is difficult to use. Well, how are they computed accurately? First thing that I do when I look at a dashboard is, oh, wait, what's the data underneath? So you need to have an understanding of that data before we get there. It's like data garbage. Can we trust it? Do we have it? And then if we think about this, it corrupts every downstream action because we don't trust what we see right there. We don't trust the behavioral change. So then number 2, we aren't turning data into value. We hear that 70% of data leaders are still struggling to make an ROI out of their data and analytics practices. We are too often generating insights that are academically interesting, but not giving us a clear path to action. And then 3rd, we still have a problem with reach. We still notice that data isn't being used by the majority of the organization. It's possible some of you are. Most of you that are here probably today are those people. But what we're seeing is that is not the case across the industry. Most people in our workplaces are not using data to make actionable decisions in their workplace. And Tableau is great for people who are curious enough to want to find those insights that can help them. But some people just want the answers handed to them. We haven't scaled to those audiences yet. So how do we meet those challenges? Well, we're going to do that in 3 ways here at Tableau. We're going to empower the analyst, we're going to ensure peace of mind, and we're going to engage the business user. We're going to do all of those things in an AI-first approach. So let's start off here with empowering the analyst and how we're going to do that specifically with Databricks. This year at Tableau Conference, we announced an expanded Databricks partnership with a one-click access to Tableau Cloud right from Databricks, real-time data processing and instant insights right from Databricks to Tableau as well, and collaborative experiences by using Delta sharing. We're going to talk about all these things today. So first up, Databricks Explore and Tableau. So from here, we're going to be able to one-click right from within the Databricks console. If when you're in the Unity catalog, open up your BI vendor dropdown, and with one click, you're analyzing data right within Tableau. No more dragging and dropping files, downloading them and uploading them with Tableau Desktop. With one click, you'll be able to get the richness from Databricks right into Tableau. And we think about this as a very ephemeral analytical experience. We don't want to commit things to a file system or burn down more consumption. We want to analyze and see what we have now. And if we have something, share it, commit it. If we don't, throw it away and start over and do some more data munging on the Databricks side. A seamless transition from Databricks to Tableau. And we're going to go pilot in Q2 this year and GA later this year. And we've always had the Databricks SQL connector, at least since 2019. And it's available across the entire Tableau suite, Tableau Desktop, Prep, Server, and Tableau Cloud, where you can visualize your data right from within the Tableau ecosystem. You can do that from connecting right within Tableau, or we can download files from the Partner Connect on Databricks Console. We're continually updating this connector, continually innovating, and Databricks is one of my shiny partners who can use our connector SDK. So when we make improvement to the SDK, Databricks is a fast follow-on to those improvements. And so here are some of the other things that we're talking about in the upcoming year here. Obviously, we're continuing making updates in the SQL connector, and we will always do that for you. Performance and visibility and seeing and understanding data is our mission here, and we're doing that with that connector. Number two, we're going to have a Tableau Prep right to Databricks. You can consume things from Tableau Prep from Databricks, but soon you'll be able to do a whole flow, whether you're taking disparate data sources and then putting them into Databricks, or just using Tableau Prep as your ETL tool for Databricks. That's coming out later this year. We're also investigating Tableau Catalog and Databricks Unity Catalog integrations, where we want to grab the richness of this metadata, lineage, tags, and bring it into these different catalogs. Saturate these catalogs with this information so that everyone can understand and see what we have, allowing data to be more trustworthy for you. And then finally, we're going to talk about it at the end, but we're going to build more industry accelerators, allowing you to get up and running more quickly. And we announced the first one this year at Tableau Conference, where you can be able to see your cost consumption in Tableau of your Databricks environment. And from here, I want to hand it over to Andres.
So thanks, Kevin, for that introduction. So yeah, love the integration with Tableau. And now we want to really see what is Databricks actually about, and how far are we on that journey of democratizing data and AI. First of all, we are the inventors of the lakehouse, right? This is what we've been introducing to the market, and we're pioneers of generative AI. We've introduced concepts like the Delta Lake, so this open ecosystem, this foundation of the open ecosystem that's now driving so many cool and open use cases with over 10,000 customers globally. We've introduced cool things like the data engineering concept around Apache Spark, and also introduced now this state-of-the-art model of DBRX, so a generative AI model that's pushing the boundaries on what's possible. And the cool thing is we're partnering with Tableau and everything. You've seen those cool integrations. But let's first maybe take a step back and see what Databricks actually brought into the market, which is the data lakehouse. It's an open foundation for your data based on an open data lake. So the data is stored there in a very open mind, and something that all departments can work with without being locked in through this Delta Lake uniform format. So allowing every ecosystem to work this data, but it should be on a really governed and a secure way, right? So this is why we introduced the Unity Catalog as a foundation of bringing security, governance, cataloging, and the whole data platform, and supporting not only use cases that maybe already be familiar with, such as the data warehousing part, where we have Databricks SQL as our big component there, but rather supporting every single use case in the lakehouse. So data science and generative AI, and also the data transformation, where I think we're really popular with the market around functionalities such as Delta Live Tables. But the thing is, we introduced that concept in 2020, and we've seen huge adoptions over the lakehouse concept in general. And actually, the cool thing is over 74% of enterprises now globally thought that is a quite cool concept and actually adopted the lakehouse. But the thing is, we at Databricks, we don't stop to innovate. And we now want to bring the lakehouse concept one step further. How? By introducing generative AI to like every single concept that we have in the lakehouse to really define a new class, which we term the data intelligence platform. It's really a foundation for data and AI to democratize that and help you to, as Tableau frames it, like help and see everyone in the organization to see data. And how are we going to do this? So first of all, taking all the components that are already driving value in the organizations. So the data lake as a foundation, the Unity catalog as the security concept, and then all the different parts of the platform. And actually enriching it with an intelligence, with Databricks IQ, which will drive all of these use cases, but adding intelligence to them, which then helps to easier write code with integration of the Databricks assistant in helping your engineers driving easier SQL and just better pipelines, or helping you to really build like a good foundation and automatically optimizing the Delta Lake underneath. So it's really fueling the whole data intelligence platform, and it's thus making it super easy for the Tableau ecosystem to really make the most of the data and use it in a very easy way. As you've seen, really cool partnerships that we already introduced there. But today, I really want to focus about one part, which is the democratization, right? This is what we're there for. We bring that, of course, as I said, like with AI, with intelligence, so you can just ask naturally and everything just works. And it makes it simple to operate. So it's there for you in a very cost-efficient way. So this is where we're at, the AI. Of course, the foundation of that, as I said, is the Unity catalog that's building that's secure governance. The thing is, we really want to make it an open platform. And this is why we have the foundation around Delta sharing. Delta sharing is a concept that's built into the whole platform that's enabling cross-platform sharing and even cross-party sharing. It's an open protocol, so it's supported by a lot of vendors that I'm just also introducing later on. And it's making it easy for you to share data. So from a data provider side to a data consumer side in an open way. And we've seen huge adoptions of that in the market. So over 16,000 people and recipients actively using this Delta sharing concept. And we've seen huge growth by over 300% on active Delta shares, where platforms interchange data in an open way, and not only like secure and governed like within your organization, but rather outside of your organization, which is super powerful. And 40% of those Delta shares actually use open connectors. So this openness is like built into our platform and is super important. And we see like a huge adoption with that, with a huge partner ecosystem. And the cool thing is for Tableau, you can use and build on those broad ecosystem. For example, through health and life science data out of our IQVIA partner data, or for example, through finance data from our partner Deutsche Börse. They are using this open partner ecosystem that now Tableau can easily benefit. And how? Through an innovation called the Delta Sharing Tableau Connector. This is making so easy for you to just plug in and use this the secure of data exchange that allows you to easily connect to such a Delta share, like a data provider, and then use the Delta sharing protocol to just access the data within your your regular Tableau environment. And this is, I think, enriching the data space that you are able to use as a user enormously. And the cool thing is, it's all built around good governance and security with Unity Catalog. That's really building you this kind of trust that you can access the data in a safe manner, but also share data with your partners or within your company through this safe concept. And the cool thing is it is generally available now. So you can just go off, take the Tableau and connect through this delta sharing concept with your data. And the cool thing is you actually have the possibility to look at it in action. So this is where I'll hand over back to Kevin to show the cool stuff. So over Kevin for a live demo of the Tableau interaction with Databricks.
Let's jump into a demo. So here I am in my Databricks environment, and we're looking at the catalog. We could see things like our workspace that we have, recent things we've navigated to, and obviously the catalog. And one of the biggest things and values here in Databricks is we want to see how my data got to be where it is, right? Understanding where data came from is one of the most important things for us in our job, right? To trust the data. So here we are in the catalog. You can see I have this TPCDI, which is a benchmarking data source that I've been working with and imported in. You can see I have different databases, and these are, sorry, this is the database and then the schema and then tables that have been created. And if I navigate down to something like financial, we could see some amazing things like our primary keys, our foreign keys. We can see that the comments here, and if we see this preview, we can also see that Databricks suggests comments to be added via AI. So we can kind of preview some of those things. Let's edit them. It kind of gives you an idea of what things we want to break down and in Markdown. Fantastic. So let's just accept that. And this one was already populated, but it would do the same thing for a one that wasn't. But again, seeing how my data got here. So from this table, we can go to our relationship. We can see our primary keys and foreign keys defined. And from one table all the way back, so how this table became what it is. It's amazing that we can see that relationship between the two. But we also want to see things like lineage. And so we could see what tables this has been made up of, potentially notebooks, or the workflow that's either upstream or downstream to this. And if we want to see this in a lineage graph, we can open that up and go all the way back to where this came from and how this table was formed. This is great. And if we want to go see how, specifically how it was, we can go over to this workflow and see how many times it's been run, when it's been run, successfully run. We can dive into repairing job or opening before. So we could see all the basic things, how data got to the place that it was supposed to be. If we go back to our overview here, we could pull over simple data, insights from that data. Again, this is my personal, so you can imagine that this would be populated with a whole bunch of things when you see frequently joined tables or how many times this table's been queried. Quality of that data, if we wanted to add in that. This is all great information to understand where we were coming from and where we want to go. So if I wanted to take this and actually explore it in my BI tools, we have this tool right up here called Explore in Tableau. This is a new thing that we're working on. And once we do this, we'll be able to take this amazing rich data that we've created from our data pipelines and open it right in Tableau Cloud. Look at that, quick, ephemeral, right here so we can drag and drop. Now, because I've worked with this data a little bit, I understand that I need to do some manipulation in my data modeling. I'm going to create a quick calculated field here. And it didn't like that date format. So now we're actually formatting that date into something that looks more, that Tableau likes a little bit better as a date type. Okay, so we can go in here and we can start dragging date and We want to do that by year. We can also drag date, and maybe we want to just see like PE ratio. So I'll go that to month. I can take this PE ratio and I can grab it to color. And I'll grab the PE ratio again too and add some detail to this so you can actually see what's going on here. And so there you go. With one click, we could start analyzing this data very quickly. And if we spend a little bit more time on that viz, it'll end up looking something like this, where we can see company data. You can obviously see my PE ratios down here, volume to which what was happening at certain intervals. Again, this is dummy data, so it looks a little bit like the same all over the place. But you get the idea that we can save and share this information and data out with our stakeholders. That's great. Committed, shared dashboard, right? So we can share with our stakeholders. But what if I want to create just a published data source off of this? No problem. So we have the new product called Tableau Pulse, tracking daily metrics. And I wanted to see information from CRM over the last few quarters. And there you go. Our AI suggested comments, daily stock prices, and gives you an idea of what's in here. Let's accept that. Okay. And so now if we want to, again, explore this with Tableau. So Tableau Pulse works off of a published data set. So if I see here, I just want to create a new data set. So let's save this as a published data source. And that is called a demo data source. So when I already have this, saved. And so here I'm in Tableau Pulse, and I can create a new metric, again, off that same data source, which we called it here CRM data stock data. Let's see what CRM open looks like. So with these are simple, digestible pieces of information that we want to see over time. So we can see this. We are going to grab that, and we grab one measure, which is our time function. Oh, I switched that up. We really want trade date to be here. And we want our measure to be our open, or let's see even our high price. I want that to be our maximum. And in a moment, there we go. So you can kind of see here, actually I hit high price. Let's go open. I'll create a filterable metric here, just so we have something to filter on. And you can see over the past few, and here we go. We have our little insight. If I save this definition, and here is a Tableau Pulse. You can kind of see here, we can filter by last month or quarter to date, or last quarter, or even year to date. And if I open that up, I think our data goes all the way back. You start to see, and I saw the dip before, and this is why I wanted to study this metric. So you can start to see, we get these, the open is trending down and highly volatile over the past 5 months, as the stock market has been. But here you get the idea of these quick, digestible pieces of information that we want to see and share with other people. That's fantastic. And again, this ephemeral nature of, oh, I don't want that, throw it away. This is what instant analytics looks like. But we recently announced a new way to share business, or share a new connector with the Delta sharing connector. So, which is through the Databricks console. If I go in here with my catalog, I can also see if this is shared via the, I don't see Delta sharing on the bottom of here anymore, but rest assured, this is shared with Delta. And you can imagine, so this is Tableau Prep. If you haven't seen Tableau Prep before, Tableau Prep is a no-code, low-code ETL tool that allows you to do some ETLing, simple ETLing in a very low-code, no-code way. So you can start to see here that I've connected to that Databricks environment that you were looking before. I have the server and the HTTP path, and I'm authenticated. Fantastic. But with the new Delta sharing connector, what if I just want to get shared data from another environment with a different business unit? And we're going to use the Delta sharing connector. And I've been given the file already. So I have my configuration of the share file. So just natively, we could see that that file is bringing in. And if I get this data, and I can see that recent stock data, that additional data. So there's my table, my schema, and then my schema, and then my table. And I can get data. As you can see here, just through the magic of the connector, we can join with other data sources. It doesn't have to be Databricks. It could be a CSV file. It could be another database. If I clean this up here, and then if we want to join, we can just simply drag and drop that data. Oops. If I can get around the click here, and we quickly add a join, and I'm going to do that on date. Actually, let's do that on the security ID, as I think of what we had it, and I think I had. Oh, I'll create a quick calculated field because I know this is all CRM data. Okay, save here. And you see on the same thing, I created one where I kind of did some quick filtering and grouping. And now if I go over to my join, it'll be a little easier to join these two. So I want symbol on the left and also the symbol on the right. And now you can see our join is working, and we can see the output of that join from two different data sources together. Again, we can share that data up and publish it to our Tableau server and share with different business units in different clouds. So lots of different ways to connect to data and utilize data from Databricks inside of Tableau and share with our current stakeholders. Thank you so much for joining. I'll kick it back over for Q&A.
All right. Yeah, really nice demo there, Kevin. Appreciate that. And we do have some questions that have come in from the audience. So Kevin and Andreas, you guys ready for some questions?
Yes, of course.
All right. This first one, they're wondering, is this data in real time or does it need to be refreshed?
Kevin, do you want to cover that or?
I'm sorry, Scott. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Kevin, I can hear you now.
Technical difficulties. Can you ask that one more time?
Yeah, the question was, is this data in real time or does it need to be refreshed?
The connector is live. The SQL connector is live. So that's connecting over ODBC. So whenever you make a call with Tableau, you're effectively calling the data live. So as live as you have the data in Databricks is as live as it will be when you make the query.
Okay. All right. Yep. And we've got a few questions in here. We've got plenty of time. So if you have any questions at all, do get them in there and we'll ask. Another question here, can you connect to files from DBFS as well?
Yeah, let me cover that. So yes, you can also connect to files that are stored in DBFS. It's really important that you kind of set up that Delta sharing provider for that. But there's really good documentations around this, and so definitely check out the documentation that we have on our website. There is even an example to how to do this on DBFS. But of course, we always highly advise you to use the Unity catalog and just the default storage location, because it's just much more secure and governed and easy also to set up in comparison to, the DBFS setup.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Thanks. Another question here, Kevin, from the demo, they're asking, I saw you demo exploring one table directly in Tableau. Are we able to bring multiple tables directly in Tableau?
That's a good question. So you can bring multiple tables in when you're under a different circumstance. So if you're just in the native authoring, this Explore feature has already connected to that data source. We are building this, so that's a good question that I'll bring back to my engineering team. We will test out. So it's good feedback.
All right. Cool. Thanks for the question. Another one here, can Delta sharing be used across different cloud platforms?
Yeah, I can cover that. So yes, the message is definitely yes. Delta sharing is completely cloud agnostic. It is open. So whatever cloud you are using in your organization, Delta sharing works. And also Databricks runs on all of the major clouds, where they're on AWS, on Azure, as well as GCP, and Delta sharing is like a core concept. So answer yes, you can definitely leverage it. And a lot of my customers actually do use Delta sharing just for that concept of connecting clouds and creating this interoperability.
Okay, excellent. We have another question here. They're saying, would you say that Tableau has two major connectors for Databricks, one for SQL and this new one for Delta Tables? So what other integrations have Tableau and Databricks built?
Yeah, that's a good question. And so, yes, those are the two major SQL connectors. We have built a few other extensions and accelerators. So right now on the Tableau Exchange, you can also grab the Cost Explorer that I think I talked about at the end there. We can also the prep as well, but mostly it's in the connectivity space. We're looking on creating more like out-of-the-box solutions or accelerators, we call them. But specifically to answer their question, can the credentials be embedded and published to Tableau Cloud for an extract? Yes, absolutely. It depends on you. If you're using an OAuth credential, that extract refresh may time out. But if you use PAT tokens, that should work for the refresh as well. To get a little bit technical on that answer.
Awesome. That's great. We've got a question here. They're wondering how can they get the Delta sharing connector today. Yeah, and it looks like the answer to that one might be on the screen in front of us. There's a button for the GA.
Yeah, if you go to the Exchange, I think it's exchange.tableau.com, or just do a quick search for Tableau Exchange. And in the Exchange, you can look for the Delta sharing connector. You can download it today and pop it into your Tableau connectors file, and you should be able to connect to Deltas.
Very
so
cool.
The Exchange is the answer. Tableau Exchange.
Tableau Exchange. All right, great. Another question here. How does Delta sharing work with the data mesh ecosystem, or is it supposed to be independent as a pure play data standard?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the data mesh concept is often resolved around data products. And I think Delta sharing is a great technical option to implement those data products in organizations. You can share data products through this sharing concept and say that other departments, even if they don't have access to traditional like compute on Databricks, they can access those tables. But the cool thing is you can even think about offering this data products to external parties. So if you say, hey, we're working together with a partner and even want to share them this data product, hey, delta sharing is a cool and viable option for that.
Okay, excellent. Another question here, is this connector specifically for Delta tables, or can any flat columnar files or columnar files be ingested from Databricks/DBFS?
Yeah, so the delta sharing concept really revolves around the delta table as is. Of course, like most just flat files or columnar files, as you described it, can easily be used for delta tables. But this is kind of then also the requirement to then use the sharing concept. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. We've got another question. We've got a question here from Becca. It's kind of like a technical help request. So I think we'll pass that one along to you guys for follow up later. Thanks for that question, Becca. And there's a question here: is the Databricks connection available in Tableau Desktop as well as Tableau Cloud?
The delta sharing connector or the SQL connector? Sorry, I don't see that one.
It's just listed as the Databricks connection. So Kevin, if you want to clarify, that'd be great.
Kevin, the SQL connector is available in Tableau Cloud. The delta sharing connector was not available in Cloud at this moment. We have some product enhancements to make it available via Tableau Bridge, but that's a separate topic. If we get a whole bunch of customers using it, happy to make the pitch to get it into Tableau Cloud. But it's not available currently. Tableau or Databricks SQL, absolutely available in cloud and everywhere else on the suite.
Excellent. That's probably a good place to leave it. We've run through most of the questions that we had here. Kevin, Andreas, thanks so much. The demo was great. The presentation was great. Appreciate all your insights here in the Q&A. It's a really exciting connector. We appreciate you coming on and explaining it to us. Thanks.
Of course.
All right. And with that, we have one more piece of business here today, which is the $250 Amazon gift card. And the winner of that gift card today is Troy Horton from Illinois. So congratulations to Troy Horton. We'll be in touch to get you your card. And with that, on behalf of the Smart Brief team, I want to thank Salesforce and Databricks for making this event possible. And thanks as always for attending and, especially for all your great questions today. That's going to conclude today's event. Have a fantastic rest of your day.